Laura, you were just evicted 8-1. You said in the House, if you don't get at least a sympathy vote, you'd be very upset. Are you surprised that you got one? And do you know who it was from?
I am surprised I got one. I'm really surprised because I thought that everybody would kind of try to have that mob mentality due to the events this week. I thought nobody would want to like separate themselves, and I don't know who it was.
You want to guess?
Michelle.
Incorrect.
Incorrect. Casey?
Nope.
Ooh, I don't know.
You want me to tell you?
Yes.
Because I know you can go home and watch the tape.
Yes, I want to know.
Natalie.
Really? I wonder why that was.
I was going to ask you, why do you think it was?
Maybe she said the wrong name.
No, she knew exactly what she was saying.
Really?
As a matter of fact, she said, let's spice things up.
Oh.
But is that going to put a target on her back? Like, is the mentality in the House, are people going to be saying, who was the one? And is she going to have to pay for it?
I don't think so. I think she probably tells Jesse everything, so he may know. And either way, I don't think they really care if I got one vote. They knew where everybody was going to stand. So I don't know. I don't think so, though. I don't see it causing any problems.
Who's leading the pack in there?
As of right now, no one. It's going to be interesting to find out. Before, it was obviously Ronnie, unfortunately. But right now, I'm not sure. Casey's kind of being really outspoken this week, but I don't know if that's a good idea.
Why?
So,
Are people not liking him being so outspoken?
I don't think people are really going for it. You know, like the girls were supposed to throw the HOH. Shima and Michelle were supposed to throw it, and he didn't. He went against it, and he was really vocal about saying everyone doesn't want to do it. He's been really vocal about leading the pack this week, and a lot of people are being hesitant to follow. So we'll see how that plays out.
Does he have anyone loyal to him in there?
I think he has his team loyal, but other than that, I don't really know where Casey stands. I liked him personally, but I don't know.
His team meaning his clique.
His clique,
Lydia.
I'm sorry, of Lydia and Kevin, yes.
Because they don't hang out with him that much.
No, yeah. None of the cliques really hang out too much other than Natalie and Jesse, and Jordan and I did, but.
Well, are you dying to know who won HOH?
I am.
What would you say if I told you Jesse? You don't look happy. That's not happy to see Jesse.
I'll be happy because they can get Ronnie out, but again.
What's going to happen there? How do you explain this Ronnie-Jesse relationship?
I don't really understand it. I kind of think that Ronnie was really attached to the Jesse idea because he knows Jesse's athletic. And Ronnie kind of thought he was the brains of the house, and Jesse's maybe the biggest endurance competitor, so that's why they kind of were attracted to each other in an alliance sense. I'm not really sure, but hopefully that's over. I don't know. I'm interested to find out.
When Ronnie was kind of being the puppet master, how do you explain it? Why was everyone at one point just following this guy around?
I think it was everybody thought he was nice, first of all. Everybody trusted him. He comes across as this guy that's married. You know, he's always messing with his wedding ring, always talking about Michelle. And he knows this game. I mean, he
Michelle,
knew
his wife.
His wife, Michelle, his wife. He always followed us around. He never really let anybody sit around and scheme or talk too long. Like, he would always be up and about and always follow people around. He was always putting ideas in people's head. He's just really, really smart. I mean, he came in with a fail-proof plan, and that's what happened. You know, he got into my head, and I said from the beginning, you know, there's no way anybody's going to break me, and I believed every word he said until it was too late.
It is a game. It should be competitive.
Yes.
You should expect some betrayal.
Yes.
All things aside, what do you think of Ronnie as a person? And what do you think of him as a game player?
I don't really know Ronnie as a person because, to me particularly, everything he said was a lie. He was really, really malicious toward me in the house. So I don't know. I think he seems.
Why was he so malicious towards you?
I'm not sure. Maybe he could tell that I was a good game player. Maybe he could tell I knew a lot about the game. I couldn't even tell you. I don't know. Maybe just first glance he didn't like me.
Did you ever want to ask him, like, what's your beef with me?
Not really, just because after everything he did to me, it got to the point where I didn't care. You know, everything he told me, he went and did the opposite. So it was like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Like, I'm not going to believe anything else you say. So I don't know why he had such a big beef with me, but.
When you actually outed him, you're out of the house, but you outed him in the house and exposed him. What kind of satisfaction does that bring you?
I'm really, really happy about that. I mean, it sounds really rude or maybe, you know, malicious for me, but I'm excited, you know. I mean,
that's human.
Yeah, exactly. I'm out of here, but at least I get joy in knowing that hopefully he'll be out behind me, you know.
But any regrets? Do you wish you were not so vocal? Do you wish you were more of a wallflower and maybe you'd still be in there?
I think everybody always says that. One of my main strategies going into the house was, I'm going to let all my emotions roll off of my back. But once you get in there, it's a lot easier to play from your couch at home than it is to be in that house. And also, this cast, at first I really tried to lay low, and I almost ended up on the block week 1 because I wasn't getting to know people. So it's like this cast, it was almost,
you were like the aloof, pretty girl.
Exactly. They thought I was kind of too good for them, or holier than thou type of person. So, I tried to come out of my shell, and everybody was kind of bickering. There isn't really anybody in that house that's, soft-spoken.
So how hard is this game now that you've played it versus what you thought it would? I know you didn't think it was going to be easy, but how was it? I never thought it was going to be easy, but I never knew it was going to be as hard as it was. I mean, that is the hardest thing I have ever gone through in my entire life, and I was only in there, almost 3 weeks. I mean, it was extremely difficult. But for people who don't know, why was it so hard? What was it about the Big Brother house that was so hard? I mean, we're cut off from our entire support system. So you have people that care about you and love you and that always have your back and that know you and know when you're being honest and know when you're not. And you go in here and automatically everybody doesn't know who to trust. Nobody really knows if you're being real or fake. And there's, you're always competing. It's always a game. People are always scheming. You get this paranoia, going on, and everywhere you walk, if somebody's whispering, you think they're talking about you. And, it's really, really hard to play this game emotion-free. It's so difficult. Now that you're here, and hindsight is 2020, any regrets? My main regret would be obviously trusting Ronnie. I mean, I was very vocal up front, telling Jordan and Jeff, I don't know what all they showed, but I don't trust Ronnie, I don't trust him, and I shouldn't have. I should have gone with my gut instinct and not listened to a word he said, and I should have voted the way I wanted to intentionally, because I think it was very obvious I wanted to get rid of Brayden. Who's the most underestimated player in the house right now? I think Jeff. I think he's kind of been more vocal this week, but I think he's a lot smarter than he shows people. I mean, just in speaking to him, I can tell he's very articulate, and he's obviously good at challenges. He proved during the veto competition. So I think Jeff. I think he has a good shot at this game, and everybody likes him. Even if he's rude or mean, he can come back and he talks in that little Irish accent those guys do. He's like, everybody likes me now. I mean, so I think Jeff will do well in this game. After you outed Ronnie and the whole house turned against him, he was holed up in his HOH room eating jujubes for dinner. He was afraid to come out. Did you at any point feel sorry for him, or did you think, good, you deserve it, stay up there, don't eat? I never felt sorry for him. I mean, he could have come down. Russell was obviously on his back the whole time, but I didn't feel sorry for him. I mean, he's the reason I left. It's my fault for trusting him, but he's the reason I was on the block, and he orchestrated the whole thing, and I think he showed his cards too early, so, it's his own fault. I mean, we didn't tell him he had to be locked up in there. What did you think of Russell's behavior towards Ronnie? I loved it. I loved Dick. I was very vocal about that. I love that outlandish. It's great for TV. It's great entertainment. Russell's a great guy. I'm sure he's portrayed as a bully because he is oftentimes a bully, but he really is nice at heart. And, Russell was, almost on the block too. So he was, getting payback, I guess, but it was entertaining for sure. What did you miss most, being locked away from your loved ones and the outside world? That's hard. Probably, I don't know. My phone, interaction with people that care about me, mainly that, my support system at home. It's really hard to be there, and people don't know when you're telling the truth. People don't know if you're being real. People don't know anything about you. So it's really hard. And even in the beginning it was hard, but you have those people like pushing you, and here you don't. What are you dying to do now that you're out? I want my cell phone. Did you learn anything about yourself playing this game? I always feel like playing Big Brother really forces people to look at themselves in the mirror. I really learned I'm not as strong as I thought that I was. Before I came here, I was always like, oh, I'm not a crier, I don't get upset, I'm not very emotional, I'm independent. And going in there, I really realized I'm not as strong as I thought I was. I've cried probably more than anybody in this season has so far. I really depend on the people in my life. I really depend on, my support system back home, and, I'm human, so it's good to realize that I need the people that are there for me. Do you ever want to see any of these people again? I do. Unfortunately, I'm leaving week 2, so I don't hate anybody really yet, other than Ronnie. So, right, so who do you not want to see? Or only Ronnie. Jesse and I don't get along too well either. I won't lose any sleep if I don't see him again. But Ronnie is the main one I don't want to see, definitely. Do you regret? I know you and Jordan were in the same clique, and you were friendly beyond being in the same clique. you were, best friends in the house. Do you regret not kind of campaigning to get her out and playing the game a little? Because it is a game.
Looking back, I may regret that, but this week I kind of looked at it like there was no shot because of what Ronnie had done and all the manipulation. I couldn't really play that card. I couldn't go and try to get in people's heads and try to say, well, I didn't want to start any drama. I didn't want to make up a lie. I didn't want to, make anything else to make me even a bigger target. So, in campaigning, everybody had already had their mind up. A few people, I don't know what they showed, but a few people were like, sorry, I already, promised my vote to Jordan. One of them being Natalie, so that's funny. But no, it was pretty much sealed.
Yeah, at what point did you realize, I'm not even going to campaign, this is...
Yeah, it was over. Honestly, when they put Jordan up, I knew it was over. Because Jordan hasn't done well in any competitions. I love her personally, but she hasn't done well. She doesn't know anything about the game. Trying to explain it. She hasn't followed it for a long time, and you have to explain stuff to her multiple times about the game for her to understand. So I kind of knew that I was going home, unfortunately.
So maybe her being a little bit naive to this is helping her.
Exactly. Maybe
you think
I should have played that
much?
card. Maybe. And I was going to hide that too, but it just kind of came out.
But wouldn't it be something if she was fooling us all and sat there at the end like
I hope she is, though, because I like Jordan, so I hope she is. We'll see.
Well, Laura, we wish you well. Thank you for being a good game player, being honest and open and being yourself. We will see you on finale night, though. You're going to see everybody again.
Okay.